linktr.ee/select screen. And YouTube and Facebook. And we'll do a little GIF. Oh, what's happened, selectors? I knew you were there the whole time. What's going on, selectors? Select screen here, and we are going to do something super awesome today. A DC, basically Comic Con. Are your boys up? Check this out. Your boys up, got his apple juice. That's good. And we are ready to rock and roll. We are 2 minutes away from this DC FanDome online thing. We're gonna see how this all goes. We are just gonna rock with it. And yeah, hopefully we'll be watching some Wonder Woman here. Watching Wonder Woman 1984. If you guys have not yet, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Would appreciate the support if you would drop some cash at the Cash App. It's $5ELECT 5CREEN. And we're about 2 minutes away from this. We're going to be live reacting to this. We haven't done a live reaction in a long time. You guys have probably been saying, Select Screen, where have you been all week? You haven't been streaming all week. What's going on? Here's the deal. I knew this was coming up. And we're going to be doing streams all day long. I'm thinking we're going to section them out because the panels are going to be kind of all over the place. Whew, we got less than 2 minutes. I'm ready. And you guys have wanted some more superhero content. If you haven't, go and check out our YouTube and our TikTok. We've been doing content about the NBA playoffs. Final Fantasy VII and Uncharted Lost Legacy, which congratulations on 3 years since that's launched. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so lots of content up on the channel, especially on YouTube. We got to hit Twitch up a little bit. We'll probably be doing, like, we got to finish Final Fantasy. We've got UFC, we got Madden's dropping. We got lots of content for you guys. And I'm thinking, man, we may start falling back and doing maybe 1 or 2 games that you guys just want to see. We may just stick with NBA Live. We may just stick with, I don't know. Unless you guys want to see more stuff, more variety. We look at ourselves as a variety channel. But you guys let us know in the comments down below, all right? And make sure to give this video a like, or a thumbs up. That was a likes up. Wonder Woman. I'm excited for Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman, it needs to be probably the Iron Man of the DC universe. Lots of news that has come out. Again, check our TikTok. Ben Affleck has been confirmed to be, I've got like a dog hair or something on my face. All right. Ben Affleck is back. He's been confirmed. Michael Keaton is back. Both for the Flash. So I'm excited for those. Check that out on our TikTok, and it's at my select screen on there. Here we go. Let's see how this works. Enter FanDome. Sound on.
Just tell me what I can do.
This is cool. Okay, DC. Injustice, maybe?
This is not what you think.
Welcome to the Hall of Heroes.
Tweet hashtag DC FanDome. So What? You guys able to see the top of that frame? Not really. Can I make this full screen? There it is.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to DC FanDome. I'm Aisha Tyler, and I am streaming to you from the Hall of Heroes. Let's call this place Superhero Central, or maybe the DC Broadcast Studio. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before, guys. I mean, how cool is this place? I'm actually standing inside a stage that Jim Lee himself drew. How incredibly cool is that?
That is neat.
I'm beyond excited to be sharing this moment with you guys.
It is very neat.
This worldwide mega event is for DC fans across the globe, and we've got exclusive footage, insider info, the latest DC news, and huge announcements from WB Games, film, TV, and comics. And you get to enjoy it from the comfort of your own home, you lucky dog. Now, to help launch this global event, here are my co-hosts from all around the world.
Oi, sou Érico Borgo.
Olá, olá, eu sou a Aline Diniz.
Magandang araw mga kaibigan, ako po si Gino.
So let's try a different look. We're gonna try.
Hola amigos, I'm Damian Moya. It's great to be here.
Hola, fans de DC, yo soy Karikami y estoy feliz de estar con ustedes en este evento.
Hey, it's Clara.
Hallo zusammen.
Hi, it's
Ich freue
Cara.
mich so sehr dabei zu sein.
Nah,
My name
that don't
is
work.
Dominic.
Hi there, I'm Sam and I'm so excited to be here.
皆さん、こんにちは。リリコです。
So
Hi,
just
I'm
taking a.
Tyrone Edwards, and I am excited to be here. Let's have some fun.
Ciao, sono Andrea.
G'day everyone, I'm Jaden and I'm super pumped.
Hey, how you doing? Bonjour, moi c'est Terry.
We are going to be bringing you guys
Yeah, that was kinda
closer
weird.
to your favorite superheroes, their creators, and the stars behind them. Plus, big announcements, guys. I'm talking huge reveals. So, are you guys ready? Let's get this thing started.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Guys, I'm gonna make a new layout because their website's like not totally full screen. So just bear with me as we're kind of adjusting this. I want you guys to be able to see the full everything that I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Don't mind my bacon. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this full screen for you guys. Interesting so far. They're doing something different, man. I'm using mobile, and the site isn't working. Laugh out, so I'll watch with you. Oh, dope! All right. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We do this stuff all the time. So, I am going to set up our second display here so you guys can see this full screen. I know we don't need to capture the cursor. Really? It's showing just a video box, huh? That's really weird. I wonder what they, maybe they're having technical difficulties or something like that.
Wow. Now I'm even more excited to kick off this epic
Oh
event.
my goodness, you're in New
This is
Zealand.
So awesome. Okay. Just 8 months ago, Warner Brothers traveled to Sao Paulo for
Oh, you're a
CCXP
dedicated
Brazil,
fan.
where they debuted the first trailer for Wonder
Am I saying
Woman
your
1984.
name right?
Well, now
Gissel?
we are back
Is that
with Erico and
correct? I
Aline
wanna make
for
sure I
more
say your
thrills
name
surrounding
correctly.
one of the
Gissel.
most anticipated movie releases of the year. Erico and Aline, bom dia.
Thank you, Aisha. I'm Érico Borgo.
Oi everyone,
I am Aline Diniz, and we're going to have a maravilhoso time today. So, of course, we have to catch up with the amazing talent behind Wonder Woman 1984. So, let's not wait another minute.
Yeah, I tried refreshing it and just reload. Wow, that's really weird.
Hi, Betty. How are you?
What an incredible way to engage with the fans. We had such a good time in Brazil.
Manolo, what's
we had
up?
so much fun that we're
Man,
super
sorry to hear
excited
that you guys
be
are having
back
that technical
together in a
difficulties.
new and interesting way, but super
I
happy
promise
to be
it's not
here.
me hacking it.
Of course, you've got more people with you, and some faces
But thank you for
did
joining
not
us.
get to see in Brazil, right, Betty?
Let's
That's
react.
right.
Let's
I
talk
can't wait
together.
to have 'em here.
And make sure, please subscribe. We love hanging out with you guys.
Hey everybody, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
How is
Great to
Trevor
have you,
back?
And we wouldn't want to do this without Wonder Woman's new nemesis. So let's welcome Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Hi Patty. Hi Chris.
But this film has not one but two villains. So let's bring in the
Crystal
next
says, I'm here
one.
for Wonder Woman.
Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal, please come on in.
Hola. Nice to be here. Hi, everybody.
And of course, it's time now for us to welcome
Gal
Wonder Woman
Gadot.
herself,
Gal
Gal Gadot.
Gadot. Woo! This is sweet.
I miss you so much. This is so crazy.
Argentina.
This is how we
Salute to Argentina.
We miss you.
Thank you guys for joining us, man.
I just invented this in the moment.
Anytime. We're going to be doing this all the time.
It's like my own. Wait.
Definitely, like I said,
We'd
hit
love
that
to hear
subscribe button.
questions from the fans
Check
and
us out on
interact with
Twitch as
the
well.
fans, and we're excited to hear from everybody today.
Well, it's been 8 months since we met in Brazil, and we know how long that is in fan time. So we're waiting for a DC superhero movie to come out, especially one with this character who is so beloved all around the world, right, Patty, Gal?
I really think the movie is it's so great on the big screen. We all worked so hard to bring something that would be a big visual, spectacular, great time. So we're going to stick it out. We believe in, putting it in the cinema, but I can't wait for you all to see more today. We're going to show a little
I was a
more,
little worried
and
about the movie
I can't wait for
initially,
the
but
movie to come out
it looks
soon.
good. It does look good.
Totally. And at least we're also, as much as we want to share the movie with the world, at least we figure out creative ways to communicate with our beloved, most amazing
One thing that I
fans.
think goes
And this is a
unnoticed
great
about Gal
opportunity for
Gadot
us
is she
to
has
say
a
hello and to
very,
thank them
very
and share
wonderful
something
voice.
from the movie.
Like,
We
I would
received
love to
so
have her
many
as
fan
a voice
questions.
actress in a
I wish we
game.
could get to all of them, but there
Great
just
voice.
isn't time enough in these short 24 hours. So let's start with a video question from Adam in Malaysia. Let's take a look.
Hi DC Fandom, I'm Adam from Malaysia and I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan. So my question is, since we're transitioning from World War I to the 1980s, what kind of inspirations that you took to create new and updated costumes for the characters?
Yeah.
I hope everybody's having a
Gold-
blast.
the
and
Golden
I can't
Eagle
wait
costume.
to see the movie. Bye.
Oh, so sweet. It's a great question because when we did the last movie in 1917, 1918, it was an interesting process where you both have to kind of acclimate yourself to the period and make it very normal to yourself and then make things look the way you want them to look within that context. So Diana always has great taste and always looks elegant. Gal and I had an amazing time finding the most elegant but really grounded things. And Kristen and I had such a great time going back in our memory, remembering what a character like that would dress like, and like the details of it.
Yeah, Lindy Hemming is kind of a genius, really.
I really want to see
And the way
Cheetah.
that she started to show me, in my experience, these horrifying power suits from the 1980s. And the way that she ended up, I was like, there's just no way I'm gonna look like a fool, like in this 80s stuff. And she was able to make something so sort of animated and specific and feel and be completely stylish and feel like $1 million and serve the purpose of what it was. I was in awe of all of her image boards and how she collaborated. It was really incredible.
That's cool.
But let's go to our next question, which is a video question from Kiara in Japan.
Hi, my name is Kiara from Tokyo, Japan. I love you so much, Gal. What was it like working all together? And do you have any funny stories behind the scenes? Thanks for answering my questions. I love you guys so much.
Marvel, take notes. This is really dope. This is really cool.
And your energy and the jumping, it was so full of energy. We had an amazing time working together, and there's something so well. Like the drama queen. No, I'm just kidding. But we had such an amazing time, and we got lucky that we all have such great chemistry, and we all adore and love each other.
That was my favorite thing about the shoot was you guys were so delightful to me on set, and then everybody became super great friends. And I would have to stay and work, and you guys would be off there having a good time, and I'm trying to pay attention to the camera, and I'm like, hey, guys, hey, coming back with music videos, and everybody's laughing so hard. I mean,
You know what makes Wonder Woman work is the color.
Like I'm making a film in the
Her
middle
suit,
of, like,
the costume looks so great
cool
on
kids
film.
were going off to the mall, and you had to stay after school.
I had to stay after school watching longingly. It was so funny.
Our next question, I just can't believe it, but we have a massive DC fan here. I think maybe some of you may recognize. Take it away, Venus.
Hi, it's Venus from Miami, so I'm a huge fan. I have a question. So, who would win in a
Venus
tennis
Williams,
match
man, that's
between
great.
Wonder Woman and Cheetah? And do you think they'll ever be able to put away their differences and team up for doubles?
I think both of you would overcome your differences to play doubles against her. You guys against each other.
I think Cheetah would win.
Really?
Now,
Of course she does.
Because Wonder Woman would have she'd have a gold tennis racket to go with everything, and it would just be too heavy, and I'm fast, and I just think I would win.
Very subjective. That's your perspective, and it's okay. I disagree with you on this one, but let's agree to disagree.
Well, then I'll see you on the court.
Okay, so now we're going to Poland with Mina, who has a question for Pedro. Does Pedro Pascal know how much he is loved and appreciated by his fans?
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah. Just a simple, yeah. Next question,
Do I
please.
know it? I love it, and I appreciate it, and it holds me up through the tough times like these. And
Did we lose you guys on YouTube? Let me know, selectors.
Exists, basically.
Next up is a question from Salma in the US for Chris.
Hi, Chris. I'm so happy and so excited for your return to Wonder Woman 1984. My question to you is, how does it feel to be the fish out of water in the 80s from your return, now having Diana Prince guide you around?
Yeah, that interest and curiosity, I would say it was kind of like it was a good lesson for me as a human being to remind myself to open up and not be so cool, not be so over everything. And, and my job again is to be in love with Gal, which is not a hard gig, and try to make her giggle, which is always fun.
He does so much more than that, but I like that you always sum it up that way.
He's
Now we have
super
a video
charming, man.
questions for everyone from Erin Lynch in the US.
Hi, my name is Erin, and I just wanted to know what was your most memorable moment on set. Thank you. I love you.
Yeah.
We love you back.
I know what mine is. When Gal and I were fighting. Well, I mean, the characters were fighting.
Yeah.
And we were practicing this stunt, and we got it down, and it was great, and it was going really well. And she grabbed my hair, I think, and wig just came.
You grab it? It got stuck in my gun.
Oh, it got stuck in your thing. And I don't know if we were tired or also, it was just, we laughed so hard.
It was in Washington. I mean, the fact that we'd shut down all of Pennsylvania Avenue to make this huge film, the little 8-year-old kid in you is can't believe that you're doing what you're doing and that you get the privilege of doing it. I don't know, it feels like a dream in some kind of way, like you're stepping into the fantasy of playing make-believe on this scale in all the films that you ever wanted to be in as a kid. So
how cool is this?
That was a pretty special moment, I think.
Can I change my answer?
Yes.
That was so beautiful.
Giselle, did you have any luck getting your stream up?
We've got one last
Manilow.
question from a very special guest.
Oh, let's go.
You look so beautiful.
Oh my God.
She does not age, bro.
Linda, look at you.
Linda, everybody, Linda Carter, the reason that we're all here.
Hey, Linda,
Hello.
amazing.
Mama Bear.
Chris Page from Oh My God, Gal. Hello, you beautiful woman.
Hi, Linda.
How are you? It's such a delightful
It's
surprise
crazy
to
how much
have you
they
here.
kind of look alike, huh?
So
Just a
I'm
little
so
bit.
glad. We think about you every
It's
day,
crazy.
Linda, and we talk about you all the time. So this would not be a Wonder Woman panel truly if we didn't see your face. So it's so good to see you.
That's dope
So
that
good
they
to
brought
have
her
you.
on.
I'm
That's really
so
cool.
excited. I've never met you. I've watched your show when I was
And
younger.
again, her
I had
costume
Wonder
was
Woman
great too.
underoos, and I'm so excited to meet you.
Kristen?
Yes. I was also Wonder Woman for Halloween when I was a little girl. I mean, I'm like so excited to meet you.
Kristen, I think you're so great. So we have a mutual admiration. And anytime when I meet you, will you do me a favor? Will you just throw your arms around me?
Yes, I would wish I could right now.
I'm beyond excited. I'm beyond excited. You know that I have been a fan from day one of Patty's when she was first attached to this film.
What other
When
movies
my
has Patty
daughter
directed?
saw
I'd love to
Gal
watch
as
some
Wonder
of her
Woman,
other movies.
She said, "Mom, I finally get it. I finally understand why everyone idolizes you. I finally get what Wonder Woman means to everyone. You know, and that's my daughter. That's my flesh and blood. So thank you, Gal. Thank you, Patty."
That's such a great story. Thank you, Linda. That's such a great story. And like the first time I ever called you, Linda, I said to you, I want you to know we're not here to reinvent Wonder Woman, and we're not here to do a new chapter of Wonder Woman. We just hope to take the torch and pass it forward. And
There
so
you go.
that means the world to me, because I was that person who was so moved by you and your performance and the show, the beautiful show that you guys did. So being able to know that somebody as important as your daughter acknowledged that we could be having that effect on her is like a huge compliment.
You are a true life Wonder Woman, and I can't be more grateful to have your guidance and to be able to call you Mama Bear and knowing your children now.
That's great.
Thank you for everything that you've done personally for me, and I'm sure to the world. And this thing is whole because you're here.
Oh,
Love you, Linda.
We love you, Linda.
So,
Yeah.
We also had
It's funny because that's the same thing from
submissions
Black
fans
Panther, if you
that
really think
sent us
about it. I mean,
pictures
Black
of
Panther
their
is more like this,
cosplays
but
and fan
Oh
arts.
my God.
I love that one.
Yes.
Exactly like having Linda here. It's like the classic. Like who doesn't love to see
The star pants, they're so cool.
gorgeous? Rocking it.
I know, she looks amazing.
I love
Yes.
When men do that.
I love when I see people like a man or different people do Wonder Woman, because it really does go to the core of like, we are all Wonder Woman, and that armor can mean something different on all these different people. And that's a great Wonder Woman costume. I love it.
I love the
Rocking it.
armband.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Because I felt like
Wow, this is from the first one.
yeah, the recreation on the beach and everything.
I thought
Like,
that was your stunt double.
caught the spirit.
That's
Beautiful
crazy.
work,
Wow.
beautiful detail. So
Look at that shield. Oh my gosh.
I know, amazing.
Wow.
It looks exactly like the original one.
Oh.
It's like the Norman Rockwell of Wonder Woman things, and so perfect because it's exactly why we're all here. It's like
Look at the shoes she's wearing.
The
red heels.
My daughter
about this
absolutely
character
loves Wonder
that,
Woman.
like, you know, we were talking numerous times about the fact that, you know, we've seen so many male superheroes, but we haven't seen enough female superheroes. And for girls, for little girls, once they see it, they believe it, you know? So for little girls to be exposed to these type of
I
movies,
wonder,
whether
just
it's
to do a
Wonder Woman
Marvel
or
comparison,
any
I
other
wonder if Black
female-driven
Widow's going to have the same
movie,
effect.
in this
I would
genre
hope so.
is so important because then,
Because
you
I
know,
don't think
it's
Captain
so
Marvel
empowering.
had the same effect on
I
girls
love
like
this
Wonder
piece
Woman
of
did.
art.
This is such a gorgeous.
That's just my hot
Yeah,
take.
I think I posted this one.
Yeah, I love the beautiful, you know, like a different culture being brought to a hero because it is so universal. And so I love seeing different people take it on and turn it, you know, bring it into something so personal to them. It's just beautiful art too.
I love the bracelets.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
I thought this was such a great one.
Oh
because
my gosh, that's so
I just love the spirit of, you know, maybe this is Nubia, you know, and I love that it's the different Wonder Woman characters, and it's a beautiful piece of work, and yeah, beautiful art.
Before we wrap up, Patty, before we say goodbye, I know, and more importantly, the fans here know that
Is that
you
the little
wouldn't
person
have
on the
come
right?
to the DC fandom without a little something extra for them,
Yeah,
right?
come on. We need to see this.
That's right, guys. We are so excited to get to be here and see everybody and get to talk to everybody and answer questions for everybody. But it wouldn't quite be a good fan event if we didn't share a little something back. So we have our second official trailer to show you guys right now.
Let's go.
This world is not yet ready for all that you will do. Your time will come, Diana. And everything will be different.
She's riding on the lightning? That's crazy.
Citizens of the world, I'm here to change your life.
Anything you want. Anything you dream of, you can have it.
You look like you saw a ghost.
Ah.
Diana, look at you. It's like not one day has passed.
I don't
No,
want
I'm
to be
getting
like anyone. I want to be an apex predator. You've always had everything, while people like me have had nothing. Well, now it's my turn.
Uh-oh.
Get used to it.
Nice, bro.
I've never been one for rules. The answer is always more. The way I fly, they will never find us.
I forgot to tell you.
What?
Radar.
Will they shoot at us?
There we go.
Barbara, what did you do?
Bro, she looks dope. Oh my gosh, she looks great.
You know, I'm not so keen on this one. I figure you are, but you know what? I'm ready to go.
I think we can do better.
Parachute pants?
Yeah.
Does everybody parachute now?
That
Yo,
was great. That was amazing.
that looked awesome.
For this, thanks.
That was a way better trailer than the first one.
I think you have, as they say, drop the mic
Thank you. I'm so good to be here with everybody. You guys, I miss you so much.
Patty, Gal, Chris, Kristen, Pedro, thank you so much for stepping into the DC fandom with us today. Thank you.
What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of trailer number 2?
Guten Tag, meine Freunde. I'm Dominic Porschen, your German host. Now, before we reveal our next huge announcement from WB Games, can we talk about what we just saw from Wonder Woman 1984? Are you kidding me? I thought I was excited before, but now I literally cannot wait for this film to hit the big screen.
I agree.
I'm so excited to be hanging out with all of you today here in the
I'm
DC
more excited
fandom.
for that film
I'm
after
a
seeing
huge
that.
fanboy myself, and together we are the reason comic books are published. We are the reason superhero movies and TV shows are made. So today, it's all about us, the fans. In fact, to celebrate you and your fandom, we are highlighting your art submissions and creative cosplay. Take a look at this art from some incredibly talented fans.
So guys, let's take a minute. I'm just gonna mute this for a second. Let's take a minute while this art's coming up, and let's talk about what we just saw there. I think that was a great panel. Very simply because it was short and to the point. You know, asked a couple of questions. We saw the cast. Very short, very sweet. Can't have Wonder Woman without Linda. I mean, that was a great little surprise. And then capped it off with a great trailer. I mean, that's how panels should be for me. For me, that was an A+ panel. A+ panel. Thinking about the trailer, my one hesitation with Wonder Woman 1984 was like, are we going to see Cheetah look like Cheetah? And lo and behold, right at the end there, and it might be at the end of the movie, but she looked like Cheetah, and that's all I could ask for. It looked great. Let's see, is this another work of art maybe? Looks pretty sweet. Check it out.
My mask has cat ears and it covers my nose. Yeah.
I do running. Do.
Looks like our next panel is pretty quick here. It says 11:25 a.m. my time. That's 11:28 technically.
Easy peasy. Now I'm going to see how many hops I can do.
That was cool.
Are there any gamers out there? What? I can't hear you.
Come on. Good games here, huh?
That's more like it. Now, I think it's safe to assume that the gamers are sitting on the edge of their gaming chairs right now, glued to their screen and twitching with excitement for our first big Warner Brothers games announcement. So, to tell us
guys,
more
check us
about
out on our link tree. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Hello, it's Zachary Levi, your favorite household Shazam. Many of you guys know
he
I
looks
like
so
me some
different.
video games. I'm a gamer ever since I was a little kid, which means I'm very excited to be revealing a brand new video game from Warner Brothers Games. We're going to meet the creative team in just a moment.
What you
but
got,
first,
Zach? What you
some
got?
brand spanking new footage from said game. We're about to play it right now for all of us. I've never seen it, so we're going to experience this together. Let's take a look.
In breaking news, we've received reports of an explosion somewhere north of the
We're
city.
still waiting for the police to confirm if there are any victims. This story is evolving rapidly. Please bear with us.
We heard this really loud boom. There was smoke everywhere.
Emergency services have confirmed that they've discovered a body buried in the wreckage. We're still waiting for further details.
Emergency vehicles are on. That a large portion of the building has actually
In
collapsed.
international news, an explosion rocked Gotham City earlier
We
today.
are now able to confirm that billionaire philanthropist Bruce Wayne is...
All right, out of the gate, this looks amazing already.
launching this, I'm dead. This is a code black. This message was automatically triggered when I destroyed the cave and everything it contained. We both know it won't take long for Gotham's criminals to realize the Batman is gone. And you can't count on the GCPD. Haven't trusted us since Jim died.
Wow.
Gotham will need its protectors more than ever. I'm leaving you the Belfry as base of operations. Some of the technology is outdated, but it has the gear you need and all of my files. You've always had my back when I needed you. I know you'll keep Gotham safe. Good luck. And goodbye.
Wow. The Arkham games are so good, man. Uh-oh. Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Robin. Yes, bro. That's got to be Damien, right? Because Tim died. But I thought Barbara was Oracle in the Arkham universe. And Dick technically died in the VR game. Ooh, this game looks dope. Yes. Whoa, bro. Is it a multiplayer game? Mr. Freeze is back. Was that Batwoman? Gotham Knights.
No one talks about them. Not a whisper word is said.
It's the owls. The Court of Owls.
For if you try to cross them, then the talon strikes you dead.
The Talons, bro. This looks great. 2021 now.
I'm Patrick Redding.
I'm Fleur Marty.
We're both from Warner Brothers Games Montreal, and we're both thrilled to finally be able to show you Gotham Knights.
You may be wondering why we chose to tell this story and focus on these characters.
We wanted to shake up the status quo of Gotham City. We wanted to see what happens when you take away the safety of Batman's presence and then find out what happens. What happens when these heroes, the Bat Family, Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Robin, have to step up and take on the role of new protectors of Gotham.
Cool. I like it.
What's really exciting about Gotham Knights is that you, the player, will be able to grow these characters how you see fit. You get to see how you would step up and become Gotham's protector. You're not trying to become the new Batman. You're becoming your own badass superhero.
And as a bonus, we brought gameplay footage. This is captured in-engine from a recent build. And we just can't wait for you to see this. Take a look.
New engine on PS5, Xbox One, Series X, Series F. Okay. Freeze, bro, freeze.
center is covered in ice. Whatever's causing this is localized at the top.
Definitely freezes handiwork. You'd best hurry.
That's what the bike's for.
Oh my gosh, this looks great. This absolutely looks fantastic.
All units at Elliott Center. Air support inbound.
Right in the gameplay, bro. Yes. It's a single player game too. Whew.
On it.
We need a way to get through that ice. We need to let past these guys first.
Looks like Freeze is back with a vengeance.
If he wants a fight, he'll get it.
Okay, maybe not. Gosh, this looks so good. Just like the Arkham games. What in the world, bro? This looks great.
Montoya here. Heard you're down there having some fun. Fun's one word for it. Just a heads up, the chopper's under orders to fire on anything that moves inside.
Gotham City Police. Drop your weapons or we will open fire. Returning fire. The storm is getting worse. You need to hurry and find a way inside Elliott Center.
The GCPD chopper made that part easy.
Yes.
This doesn't look up to code.
I wish we could have got the new Batgirl costume though.
If
I like it a
anyone
little
asks,
better.
I meant to do that.
I won't say a word.
So
Doors
is he
were
just a
still going on
companion?
when Freeze came through.
Those poor people. They didn't stand a chance.
You know how cold it is up there, right? You want to die of exposure? Be my guest.
This will only take a second.
Wow. Oh, snap, man. This is great.
No precision.
Enemies are hitting each other. Oh, did I see that right? Did they switch to Red Hood? Oh, the tag team moves. Oh my goodness. That was dope.
Not the safest time to take the elevator.
You'd rather take the stairs?
These cables on the floor. Guaranteed they lead to Freeze. Belfry, status.
Countless dead and the temperature's still falling.
We need to stop this.
now.
I like the voice acting so far.
Belfry wasn't kidding about this storm. Almost there.
I see the weather machine, ready with the disruptor.
That thing's drawing so much power.
Field disruptors in place. It's charging.
Oh, bro.
From my storm engine. Is that what you're calling it? You don't want to be on the roof when this disruptor goes off. Trust me.
Irrelevant. I already have what I need.
Man, I love the Mr. Freeze fights in these games.
The storm has risen over Gotham. Nothing can stop it.
We'll see about that.
You cannot run from me.
They're giving us a lot of gameplay, man. Jeez. Ooh.
You will not stop me. Keep yourself to the cold.
Jeez, bro.
That was amazing! That was so good. That was so good.
Absolutely
Thank you so
amazing.
much, Patrick and Flora, for giving us this insight, all this info. I, for one, can't wait to play it. I'm sure everybody at home can't wait to play it.
Yeah.
Speaking of everyone at home, before you take off, if that's okay, we'd like to answer a few fan questions. Yeah, cool. Here we go. Callum from the UK asks, what has driven you the most in the direction of this game?
Wow. Well, I'd say really there have been kind of three consistent ideas at the heart of Gotham Knights. First is having like a whole cast of playable characters that can continue to grow and reinvent themselves. Second, a real living, breathing Gotham City that keeps challenging you, keeps serving up danger.
How do you switch
And then
between the
finally,
two,
it's
though?
that fantasy of the superhero team up, and we wanted to be able to deliver that in co-op play.
Copy that.
Co-op play.
Alistair from Kenya asks, what goes into deciding which characters you are going to develop a game around?
Sure.
Well, we chose characters who resonate with players on a few different axes. We wanted heroes who embodied different aspects of the Bat family. The detective side, as well as the fighter, the scourge of the underworld, the urban legend. We looked for characters that offer players a unique starting point and then a long runway for growth. Ultimately, we wanted heroes that could take on the forces that threaten Gotham City, but each bringing their own unique perspective.
Gotcha. Okay. Now we have Riley from the United States. Homegrown. Riley from the United States asks, could you give anything more on this WB Games Montreal game? Any other little tidbits?
We're actually sort of standing in it. The Belfry will be a very important location in Gotham Knights.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta keep a few secrets. More to talk about later.
Something else.
We can tell you this: the mystery in Gotham Knights is way bigger than just the protocols.
Well, is there
Okay.
anything else that you would like us to know?
Well, our game is coming out in 2021, and we can't wait for everyone to play it.
Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Patrick and Floor, for sharing
Where?
everything that you have. To everybody out there, I hope you've been enjoying DC FanDome. Continue to enjoy DC FanDome. I'm Zachary Levi. Mwah. Love you.
This FanDome event has been a huge success so far.
Just wow. Honestly, I've been yearning to step in the boots of those characters for a long time. I guess dreams really do come true.
The Bat family, man.
And
This
don't go
looks
anywhere. We will be
amazing.
back with The Flash in a flash. So unless you can be in two places at once, be sure to stay with us.
All right.
Everybody, I'm Tyrone Edwards, your Canadian host, and I want to know how much you're loving DC FanDome. So tweet your replies right now with the hashtag DC FanDome. I'm so excited to be a part of this global virtual experience, the only place to hear the latest announcements from DC. We've got one for you now, so let's check out what's new with Sandman from the creator himself.
We're gonna just keep it rolling.
DC FanDome. I am Yvette Nicole Brown, and I am so excited to be here with you for the Sandman universe, Into the Dreaming DC FanDome.
Let me know in the comments. Are you guys into
Today we'll be
Sandman?
discussing the
And
comic
not
book
Marvel
series and how it's
Sandman,
been
obviously.
expanded with new stories adapted into new media, and how it continues to enthrall audiences all around the world. Let's meet our awesome panelists. As one of the most popular and critically acclaimed graphic novels of all time, Neil Gaiman's award-winning masterpiece, The Sandman, set the standard for mature lyrical fantasy in the modern comics era. It has been translated in over 15 languages.
I know nothing
and is
about
available in
Sandman at
over
all.
30 territories. I am thrilled to be here with Neil Gaiman. Hi, Neil. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Yvette. Lovely to see you.
Oh, you look so good in your little box. Now, Neil, you started The Sandman as a ground-up reimagining of an older DC property. At what point did you realize how much bigger the story could be? Did you know from page one, or did you find it on the way?
A bit of both. Started in 1987 when I was a 26-year-old writer, and I'd been asked to write a monthly comic for DC Comics. And all I knew was that I needed something that I could go anywhere with, that I could tell any kind of story, because I'd never had to tell a story a month before, and I didn't know if I could. So Sandman was originally imagined as something that would let me tell any kind of story I needed to tell.
Interesting.
Probably by the end of the first year, I knew what kind of thing I was doing. And I'd say by the middle of the second year, I knew the shape of the whole story, and I knew what was going to happen. I knew who was going to live and who was going to die, more or less. And then it was a matter of just holding on tight and hoping against all hope that I actually would be able to tell that story before it got cancelled. The original Sandman,
That's great.
The first book, Preludes and Nocturnes, is 8 issues long. And it's 8 issues long because at issue 8 was when they would call you and tell you they were cancelling.
Oh.
And that you would have, you had a year, so you had 4 more issues to wrap it up. So I had, my whole plan was it was going to be an 8-issue storyline and then 4 short stories, and then obviously we'd be cancelled, except we weren't cancelled.
30 years from the original series, what's exciting to you about seeing the story continue, both in its new adaptations and in the Sandman universe comics?
Not feeling like I made a slice of history. Because, the idea...
Going back to Arkham Nitro, guys, real quick, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think so far
it's 30 years
of
old.
that game. We still have to see what Suicide Squad... I can't even talk. I'm so excited right now.
And that they can still have relevance is incredibly exciting. So that's been part of the joy of watching over the last few years the Sandman universe stuff, where people are just taking ideas and spinning off with them and going and having fun and building them, and the joy of having people like Cy and now like Willow writing some of these amazing artists is a joy. And also I'm getting to do Sandman in different ways. I've been getting to do it working with Dirk Maggs on Audible as a giant audio drama where we've done a very direct adaptation, and we're also getting to do it now with Netflix as a slightly looser but still faithful adaptation. And so all of that is a delight, and it all makes it feel like something happening now and not like something that happened a long time ago.
The Sandman universe has a new series which started on August 4th, The Dreaming Waking Hours, and it's written by our next guest, G. Willow Wilson. G. Willow, I love your name.
Oh, thank you so much. Hi, Yvette. How are you?
It is so nice to meet you. Now, G. Willow, you first came to The Sandman purely as a fan in your teenage years. What did the series mean to you at that age?
You know, I first read The Sandman in the late 90s as a teenage goth. And for me, what's interesting looking back now is that by the time I read that series, it was already part of the culture. And so I was already wearing the death outfit without knowing what it was. So, you know, to pick up the series and be like, oh, this is where this comes from was really, really interesting for me. And it had a huge impact, I think, on my sense of how you tell stories in the graphic medium, of the scope of the kinds
That's
of stories
cool
you
that
can
she's
tell,
been like
the way that you
connected
can
to
put
that
on
in that
a
way.
twist on legacy characters to make them relevant and fresh again for a new audience. And all of those tools that I was sort of unconsciously picking up reading that series at that age, I think have been tremendously valuable to me, you know, in my own creative life, reimagining different stories and working in, you know, sort of the Sandman universe. So it really feels like coming full circle.
Now, when you learned you were going to be writing the dreaming waking hours, what did you want to bring into the universe that wasn't there yet? What was your in to the story?
When you're dealing with a legacy series that is as beloved as The Sandman is, you have to kind of balance two things. Number one, the history that longtime readers have with the series, the emotional investments that they have in that place and those characters, and also creating a new entry point for people who might not be as familiar with the series. I was sort of going through this roster of characters who've lived in the Sandman universe and in the dreaming over the years and thinking, who haven't we heard from yet? And at the time I was going through a bout of insomnia and I was thinking to myself, my God, you know how happy I would be to have a nightmare right now, because at least it would mean I was asleep. And it was like a bolt out of the blue. All of a sudden, Ruin, this nightmare who's tired of being a nightmare, wants to be something else, was kind of there and complete. And I was like, oh, there it is. That's the in. That's how we get back into this history, from a point of view that's conducive to bringing in new readers, and that maybe gives us a fresh perspective on this really beloved set of characters and place.
In my 20s, I used to have terrible nightmares. And then somewhere around year one of Sandman, they kind of stopped. And they stopped because every time I'd have a nightmare, I would wake up so happy. And I would scribble it down. I'd grab a notebook by my bed and I'd put the details of whatever this awful nightmare was. And I would just be so happy. And they just stopped. And I figured that whoever sent the nightmares just got tired of getting the wrong reactions from me.
That's amazing.
I cannot wait to read Waking Hours. Okay, so let me just calm myself down, silence my inner fangirl. We mentioned how The Sandman was transcending the panels of the comic book page. In July, fans got to experience the Sandman Audible series. Joining us now is the director of that series, Dirk Maggs. Welcome, Dirk.
Thank you, Yvette. Lovely to be here.
Oh my gosh, and thank you for bringing your hair.
There we go.
It's amazing.
Hopefully you guys heard me.
Neil
Giselle, thank you. They held your YouTube comment.
It was a hair retrospect.
Figured out how to say your name correctly.
I knew we'd go there.
We failed to meet, although we first encountered each other in about 1992.
What are you guys thinking about Sandman? I know nothing about this guy. Nothing about this character.
He was adapting The Death of Superman for British radio as an audio drama.
Yeah.
And it became a huge phenomenon in the UK. And Phyllis Hume, who was at DC Comics back then, decided that we should become acquainted. And she gave Dirk Sandman graphic novels, which was Sandman was still being written. And Dirk read it and went, "This is a drama." And what happened then, Dirk?
And then the BBC said, I think we've done enough comic book stuff with you now, Dirkie. Off you go and do some terrible comedy instead. And so that was it. We didn't do it for the BBC. And I thought that was it, game over. So it was very sad because I'd never read anything like it. And actually, I thought of all the things we were doing, and I'm very proud of our Superman and Batman. But I thought, wow, this guy is writing some interesting stuff here. Wouldn't it be great to put it in a studio? Little knowing it would take 28 years to actually get there.
Well, it was worth the wait.
Yeah.
Dirk, what was the process of taking the comic book scripts and turning them into an audio experience?
Really, the process with Neil was very easy because Neil is still alive. which is an enormous amount of help. It actually means I can talk to the author without using a Ouija board. And not only that, but the author in this case is a supremely kind, indulgent, patient man who will put up with the questions of someone who normally is just a drummer and give him intelligent replies. So it was wonderful to have Neil accessible, and the real joy was to actually get Neil's original scripts, which he wrote at the time for the artists. And one of the things about the scripts is they're kind of like the blueprint. They're kind of like the scaffolding behind the facade, which is the story. And you get into Neil's mind at the time when he's writing him, 27-year-old Neil, and what he wants to see. And what, I don't know if Neil, you knew this, but there's real poetry in your descriptions that no one but a single artist would read. Well, I know you know that now because you've been reading these descriptions as part of the narration, but really they were a piece of literary art in their own right, the scripts. So I had those to base things on. We'd come to the decision that we were going to stick pretty closely to the original work, because why wouldn't you? Effectively, there is nothing needs really changing. Occasionally here and there one might just, touch slightly on the steering wheel, but there is nothing much you need to do. And they just rock. They totally rock. So Neil as narrator now is being Neil the writer. We're in his head. And then off the page, I'm going to extend this metaphor to snapping point, come the characters and we get this wonderful sort of sense of being inside Neil's head. The nicer part, the classy part.
The classy part. Okay, well, besides the star actors, you had to cast something like 150 other parts. Kudos to you. What was that process like, Dirk?
Well, I've got to say, our casting team, Marielle and Nicola, who were doing a lot of the casting, did a fantastic job. There are way many more parts than we could comfortably
CV says, did we get a Snyder cut yet, or are they building up the hype? They are building up the hype, bro.
And was really only built for one.
I think we've got hours until the Snyder cut.
There's a thing called the stateroom scene where they're trying to cram into a cupboard on a boat. Well, that's kind of how it was in this situation. I had to think of a way through this, and I thought what we need is all the very best audio voice actors in London. And London is a really good place to get voice actors because, of course, BBC still runs spoken word and drama and so on and so forth. So actors as busy as Mike.
We've got a Suicide
James,
Squad panel, guys, at 12:55.
You're getting
basically
people who
an
normally
hour
would get a
from
marquee,
now.
who are coming in as part of the ensemble, and everybody kind of checked their egos at the door. And we ended up with a really lovely situation. There were certain episodes, like, for example, A Midsummer Night's Dream, where the temperature in the studio kind of climbed into the late 90s.
DC Comics panel.
The upside was that the cast, we were pretty much doing the story from soup to nuts. So if you're in the room with them, you're watching one of Neil's
Snyder Cut will be at
3:30 in front of your eyes, with a bit of extra Shakespeare here and there. So
about 3 hours, 30 minutes from now.
Speaking of the amazing cast, we are joined by the devilish Michael Sheen. Welcome to the panel, Michael.
Hello, Zeth. How you doing?
I'm good. So happy to have you with us. So, Michael, now you are on the hot seat. How did you put your spin on Lucifer?
I mean, I remember when I first read Sandman. I'd left Wales to come down to London to go to drama school. And one of my fellow classmates at RADA, within the first few weeks, said to me, do you read comic books? And I said, no, I don't. And I thought, like superheroes? I'm not really into all that. And sorry, DC. And he said, here we are.
Come on, bro.
Some Alan Moore, he gave me V for Vendetta and Watchmen and Swamp Thing and Constantine and Sandman. And I remember reading the first few Sandmans, and it just sort of, it did literally change my life. It sort of both reinforced what I was already interested in, but opened doors to whole universes for the rest of my life. I mean, it created my taste, really, I suppose. It led me to finding out about Joseph Campbell and comparative mythology and Carl Jung And I mean, all kinds of stuff. It just blew my mind. And certain things really stayed with me. And one of those things was the character of Lucifer when you first meet him early on in the story, and that kind of young Bowie look. That image had really stayed with me. So when I came to do Lucifer, that was there at the back of my mind. And I love the idea of someone who looks very angelic. I mean, he is an angel. He's the fallen angel. And that young Bowie with the curly blonde hair is very angelic and sort of chirpy. Hello, you know, and it takes you by surprise. You're expecting Lucifer to be Lucifer. And of course, you don't have to. It's like, hello, Dream, how are you? And I love that idea of sort of surprising the audience and pulling the rug out from under their feet, which Neil is so brilliant at. Of course, the first thing I ever saw to do with the Sandman was the cover of Preludes and Nocturnes, the Dave McKean art. And even from that, I knew I was entering into a whole other world. And then, of course, getting to know Dave many years later was a bit of a dream come true.
He is such a singular talent and such a singular vision. It was weird with Sandman.
Not really into Lucifer stuff.
We had this huge.
Maybe that's why I never got into Sandman. I don't know.
Right in the very beginning, when we told DC that the title character Morpheus would not be on every cover, I remember them coming back, going, "But how will people know this is Sandman?" And we said, "Well, because the word Sandman will be on every cover." And having lost that battle, they never fought again. They were like, okay, well, obviously we don't know what this thing is, and they're doing things that break all the rules because you have to have the character on the cover, and they aren't. So they're just doing their thing. And it really was Dave having that fight. And also around Sandman 9, Dave refusing to be fired. Karen Berger fired him. He was in New York, and she said, "We don't have time for you to do any more Sandman covers." Then he said to me, I've been fired. And I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "Well, I'm going to spend the next 2 days painting the next 8 Sandman covers, and then I'm going to send them over to her, and I'll see what she says." And that's what he did. He just made the rest of the Doll's House covers.
Amazing.
He did all the covers and sent them over. And what was she going to do? They were brilliant.
Of course, I spent a fair amount of time with Neil fairly recently when we did Good Omens together. So I got used to Neil being on the other side of the camera and close to me, which I liked. But he's sort of creeping ever closer, like a game of Grandma's Clock. Is that what it's called? Where, you know, every time I look around, he's not behind the camera now. Now he's actually standing next to me in the recording studio, narrating the damn thing. I mean, if he gets any closer, we'll have to have an operation to be separate.
I love the fact that I get to work with Michael. Michael and I have been friends since 2010, and we've been working together since 2017, and just I get to just admire him as an actor more and more, and the very, very peculiar feeling of having my friend Michael standing next to me in the studio and opening his mouth, and this voice that basically belongs to David Bowie playing Lucifer.
David Bowie
coming out of his mouth, and I'm just sort of looking and going, how does he do that? How can that work? And I forget that my friend Michael is also one of the greatest actors of our age. It was an absolute delight. We were incredibly lucky at the kind of cast who came out for Dirk and also who came out for Sandman, because we're lucky in that there are Sandman fans everywhere. And we get to punch above our weight. You know, we get to get Willow coming in and writing The Dreaming because she was a Sandman fan and she wants to write Sandman. We get Michael Sheen, we get Kat Dennings, we get these amazing people coming in and fighting to do it because they love Sandman. And we are so lucky in that.
Like we said earlier, the Sandman is in dozens of languages and has been in print continuously for over 30 years. Why do you think the Sandman not only endures, but transcends media?
For me, the answer is that I really didn't know what I was doing. And I didn't know what I was meant to be doing, and I didn't know how to do it. And I did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And that just doing it also meant that everything I was seeing, everybody I met, every thought going through my head, made it onto the page. And every
really cool.
way that I could tell stories, I was telling stories, I was trying new things. And I think that it hasn't aged and it hasn't dated in probably the way that it should. You can absolutely see places where it's completely of its time, and you can see places where my heart was in the right place, but I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I think that's fine and that's forgivable, because overall, I think I, along with dozens of astonishing artists and along with people who are unsung, like Todd Klein, our amazing letterer who did miracles that then nobody notices are there, creating lettering font styles for characters like Delirium or Dream or Desire. I thought I was making something completely disposable. If I'd known I was making something that would last, I probably would have had a lot more attention, and it probably wouldn't have worked.
How about the rest of you? Why does it transcend for all of you, you think?
Like I said, it sort of changed my world, really. It gave me an introduction to things that have had a huge impact on my life and who I am today. And it led me, it is a story about stories. And as such, as Neil said, he wanted to come up with something that allowed him to tell whatever story he wanted. And because of that, it roams across time and space and through mythology and history and Shakespeare, it was such an explosion of the imagination and creativity. And yet at the same time was grounded in a real kind of edgy, earthy realism as well. So it had something for everyone, but instead of being a kind of jack of all trades, it seemed so specific. And it was just like, it's like when I, as an actor working on Shakespeare, you can literally feel your brain expanding, like your consciousness growing because of what Shakespeare does in his plays. And reading The Sandman was a similar experience for me. I could feel my consciousness getting bigger because of what was in it and what it introduced me to. And because it is about sort of primal, deep things like the dreaming, like reality and concepts like fairy, and it of course it's timeless. It's about the endless, and the story itself is endless, and so it will go on forever.
Speaking from the point of view of adapting it to another medium, what's great about it is that it's doing everything that Michael's just described. It's this enormously, the conceit of it, and I'm not using conceit pejoratively there, but the scale of the imagination, all of Neil's misspent years in libraries as a kid, all that reading is just pouring out on the page, a sort of torrent, like a dump tank of ideas. And to have started this journey in audio, particularly where we're sticking very close to the originals, is great, because I know, well, we all know where it's going to go, but the journey of discovery is getting an actor. When Michael comes in and starts playing Lucifer, I'm thinking, oh, wow, I can't wait to hear where this is going to go. And of course, we have all that to look forward to, and the rest of the cast as well. So, I hats off to Neil. It's an astonishing piece of work.
Willow, how about you? Why do you think The Sandman endures?
To me, what was really astonishing about Sandman, especially the first time that I read it through as a teenager, was that unexpected people were at the center of the story. I think, we're kind of taught to look to the most obvious figures to be heroes, the politicians, the famous people, all of this. Whereas in Sandman, the guy sitting next to you on the bus could be Lucifer or the King of Dreams. And as such, you get stories about characters who I think were kind of pushed to the margins, especially at the time in other types of stories, right? And now they're at the center. And that makes you look twice at the world around you. It makes you sort of question, who is telling the story, and what point of views are we missing, and who is unmourned? That also really struck me, is that, this came out in the middle of the AIDS epidemic when, a lot of people were trying to push these deaths and this terrible thing that was happening under the rug. And Sandman said, no, pay attention. This is important. These people are important. And that was very striking to me. And I think that's part of the reason that it still feels so relevant, because it kind of reminds you there are still stories we haven't heard. There's still things we're afraid to talk about. And it's the people around you who could be the true spinners of tales. And that really has stuck with me through the years.
Well, that answer was amazing.
I've thought about this a lot.
Oh gosh, it's so good, you will. I want to thank all of you for this wonderful time. I had the best time talking to all of you. But before we go, we can't forget about the dedicated fans. We asked and they responded, and we get it. You want to know about the Netflix show. So Neil, can you tell us anything? We've been asked about when it will be released. We've been asked about the cast details. What can you tell us, Neil?
Well, I can tell you that due to COVID, everything, as with every other piece of television being made around the world right now, somebody pushed a giant pause button. And we've taken advantage of our pause button just to try and get the scripts as close to perfect as we possibly could, which has been really fun. And that right now, as the universal pause button is starting to come off, we're starting to cast again. I'm getting these inspiring and wonderful emails with production designs, with places that I've only ever seen in the comics before, now being rendered in 3D, and I'm being asked to comment on it. That's amazing. There's not a lot I can say. Something that I will say is part of the joy of doing the audio adaptation was going, this is going to be the nearest thing we can do to an audiobook of those first 3 graphic novels, and hopefully all of the graphic novels. And we're going to start it in 1988. And it's going to end in about 1991 or 1992. Sandman is a very compressed story, even though it takes place all through time and space. That's where that story takes place. What we're doing with Netflix is saying, okay, it's still going to start in 1916, but the thing that happens in Sandman 1, the point that the story starts, is not 1988, it's now. And how does that change the story? What does that give us? What does that make us have to look at that we wouldn't have had to look at if we were setting it as a period piece? What is that going to do to the gender of characters? What is that going to do to the nature of characters? What's that going to do to the story? And that has been an absolute delight, because it means we are always being true to the story and being true to the characters, but it gives us tremendous freedom to go, okay, if we were doing it now, what would Sandman be? And that, again, is very liberating.
Well, as a fan myself, I cannot wait to see it. And I just wanted to share that I was a tiny part of the Sandman universe. Check this out. It's a drawing by artist Domo Stanton of me flying through the city.
Lovely.
I look good. Well, thank you all so much. It's been wonderful chatting about the Sandman. Thank you, G. Willow, Dirk Maggs, Michael Sheen, and of course, Neil Gaiman. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of DC FanDome.
All right, guys. So, up next is Multiverse 101. I think what we're going to do is take a small break for about 30-ish minutes. And then we will come back with a brand new stream. So if you can for me, head over to youtube.com/select screen. Or if you're watching on Facebook, again, it's facebook.com/5ELECT5CREEN. Hit the like button and definitely subscribe here on YouTube. What we're going to do is that'll let you know when we come back live again. Like I said, we're just going to give a 30-minute break, stretch your legs. This has just been an awesome event so far. So we'll come back looking at the schedule. I'm going to pop the schedule back up here for you guys. They're going to go over the multiverse. Now, this seems to kind of be a natural break. Let me pop this up for you guys so you can see where we're at. Let's see. Pop back here. All right. So in the grand scheme of this, we just finished the Sandman. They're doing the multiverse. We want to come back for the Flash panel. So that is, let's see, it is 12:15 as of right now, 12:16 my time. So you can adjust. I know we've got Giselle all the way in, where's Giselle from? I thought she said Argentina. No. New Zealand. Giselle's in New Zealand. Manilo is in Argentina. So guys, just appropriately adjust your time. About 30 minutes from now, we'll probably go a little bit earlier than that just so we can, recap. But we'll be back for the Flash panel. Again, hit that subscribe button. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you want to help support the stream, if you enjoyed this, if this was helpful, please help us out with the Cash App. Again, that is $5ELECT 5CREEN. And I will see you all in about 30 minutes. Until next time, remember to choose your destiny. My name's Select Screen, and we'll be back. I'm out.